Why hello there, Nice Joe here, I hope this video finds you well, and welcome to my review of this Kershaw Seguin. I honestly don't know where they were going with this. This is a less George design. This could be a really good knife. I actually like some of the pattern that's been cut in here, or milled in there, or whatever. But this is a horrifically bad knife. It's mercifully been discontinued, and I got it for like, what did I get this thing for? $20 ish, $25 maybe. It's not worth that. It's not. This is not a good knife. I don't know what they were thinking with this knife. But, I mean, it is an older pattern, so I guess it's taken more from the older philosophies from Kershaw than some of the more recent stuff that is slightly better in quality, at least. So I've heard. I have very little experience with Kershaw. In fact, I only have one other Kershaw knife, and it's just the miniature version of the Hinderer Decimus, the one that looks like a dagger. And that's just for fun, right? That's not a great knife either, but that one's at least fun. Yeah, it's strange seeing prevalent designers in a much higher tier do knives that, or license out their designs, I guess. It makes sense, and it's not something I dislike, right? Because it allows you to get, particularly in like the Decimus, which is based on the something of similar name for Hinderer, a very unique design at a very affordable price, right? That I don't mind. I'm not going to complain about being able to get that dagger-like folding pocket knife at a cheaper price. It is, however, kind of strange that they would go with something that's going to execute it as poorly as they do, but whatever. Let's get into specs, and then we'll just talk about this thing for a little bit. 3 1/8 of blade, 7 3/8 overall, so 4 1/4 of handle. It's a pretty small knife, definitely smaller than the knife it's would be based off of. West George's customs are typically not quite this small. We will compare. Well, those magnets have been getting busy over there. Honestly, I don't even know where they got the tweezers from. Where they pulled them in from is beyond me. Alright, as you can see here, compared to our small Civivi Elementum and full-size Civivi Conspirator, it's closer to the Elementum. It is in between them, but I'd call this closer to the Elementum. The grip length is not much greater. In fact, it's arguably possibly less, because you wouldn't be gripping onto the end here where you can hold on to the Elementum. So, yeah, the overall design is small, and it's not really, like, the shape of the handle isn't really, like, the Elementum takes into account the fact that it's small and gives you this extra grip length. This one comes to an abrupt end, and so, like, you're not gripping onto here, so your actual grip length is from here to here, which is pretty much less than the Elementum, despite the size being overall just a tad bigger. Or, well, yeah, decently kind of bigger. Let's see on thickness. Compared to the Elementum, it is actually very similar to the Elementum in thickness overall. It feels like it's a little thicker. It does. It's not, apparently, but it does feel that way. And our last comparison being the AA battery comparison for your actual grip length. And what do you have? You have just over 1.5 AA batteries for actual grip length. Like, I can't consider that. Whereas, like, the Elementum, as I said, it goes back all the way. Your grip length is basically this. I can get a full forefinger grip. It is exceptionally close to feeling like I'm just wrapping around the end here. But technically, you can get it. Hardware check. Man, I need a new T8. T8 and T6. Lovely. Just what we want to see from budget brands. T6. Where you have the highest chance of stripping out. just on the cheap ones, just throw in your T6s. Yeah, no, that's not ideal. Where is my scale? Why is it falling over there? I don't know. But weight. This is a steel frame lock, so 4.86 ounces. Not an ounce an inch. Not great ratios. Honestly, for how small it is, it even feels a bit heavy. Like, I have knives that are 5 ounces that are much larger. That when you pick them up, you're like, okay, it's got some mass, but it doesn't feel like it's a weight. This one does kind of feel that way a little bit. Possibly just because of how small it is and how it interacts with your mind and everything. What am I forgetting? Ah, yes, the calipers. Where are those? Those are... My area is a mess right now. I need to clean it. And I keep putting it off, which is not helping it. Thickness. 446 thousandths. So yeah, very similar to the Elementum. Blade stock. 150 thousandths for some reason. Even though it doesn't look like it because it's got a chamfer along the top and a swedge here, it's actually pretty thick. Unnecessarily so. And behind the edge, I imagine this is going to be comically funny because it's not good. $20 thousandths behind the edge. Not as quite as comical as I thought, but man, does it get thick fast. Not the highest grind, you know. And yeah, she's a bit thick behind there, and the edge is awful. The edge is awful. It kind of cuts, but I mean, I'm not exactly concerned. All right, let's get into just a quick take on this knife. This is that a straight clip? Yeah, I guess it's technically just a clip point knife. Different facets and everything make the actual blade look pretty interesting. Like, I like the design to it. Don't like seeing the giant Kershaw. Don't like speed safe because, oh, by the way, this is an assisted knife. Which, yeah, sure. At this price, why they keep making them, I don't know, but they do. Tons of unnecessary stuff on there. You could have just put Les George's logo right there and called it a day. 8CR 13 MOV. Woohoo! Yeah, that's budget, super budget territory steel. It is pretty much the bottom of the barrel for what I would consider an acceptable steel. The China stamp is, interestingly enough, covered over by the track of the detent, so prioritizing, smoothness is probably not going into this as a real factor. It is, I don't know if this is a bead blasting. It kind of feels like a coating, but I don't know what the heck kind of finish this is. It's kind of horrible. It's similar to a gray PVD, but it looks like it might be like a stonewash bead blasting, but like I don't know. It's not great. Plunge gun is, I mean, fine. It doesn't leave you much room at all, so you definitely have to cut in more, but it's fine. There's nothing causing a problem here. It says a flipper tab, it's up there, and the underside of the lock face looks like it's been burnt. I don't know if that's going to come across on the camera, but it is, like, you know, brownish, like when steel starts burning. Yeah, right there. The jimping does nothing. The flipper tab is a flipper tab. It's fine. It would definitely fit better. It is a little bit obtrusive, like pushing your finger into it, but it definitely seems like it would fit better on a larger knife, which I'm assuming this is, well, like I said, this is not assuming. This is definitely originally a larger knife, or similar pattern. I think this is the, is this the Harpy? I can't remember. Steel frame, obviously. We're not getting anything other than that here. Is there any milling on the inside of this thing? I've never looked at... No, there's 0 milling in the air. That explains the weight. It's just flat slabs. With... Oh, I guess the liner here on this one side is to contain the assist mechanism, probably. I just noticed that I had a liner on one side. It's very strange. It's got to be to contain the assist mechanism in there. Yeah, something like down in there. Very odd. Lock bar access is actually perfectly good. Like, the design is fine. It's good. It's a knife. It's solid. No lock bar insert, doesn't have to be. It's a steel frame lock. Just a pressed in detent ball, which is not much of a ball there. It is pretty tiny and flat. I mean, it does snap out, but it's assisted, so it's going to. Right. Yeah, there's a ton of play. Ton of play. Don't even know if I can get rid of it. Oh, okay, there it goes. A little bit of the action has been lost. But the play is gone. Okay, fair enough. The milling, while simple, is kind of nice looking, honestly. Just, it gives some dimension, it gives some nice, just, contrast over otherwise flat scales. I always appreciate stuff like that. Little details like that aren't super complex can really add a lot. Honestly, in my opinion, personally. Non-reversible pocket clip that is actually mounted from the inside of the back here. It is a very skinny pocket clip. Lots of flex, surprisingly decent retention. It does stick up a little bit. Kind of going to the moon there, but a little more than it needs to, but it's fine. You can definitely feel it, but it's not actually uncomfortable. I mean, it's just so thin and small, right? And it in my hand, it hits kind of right here where there's a little bit of the start of my hand sort of coming out of a dip. So it nestles in surprisingly well. It's not the most comfortable thing, but even when you can really feel it, because it's so thin and small, it doesn't really mess with your hand too much. Kershaw's logo is also on the pocket clip for some reason. If you're going to do that, don't do that. Simple as that. There is a backspacer that appears to be plastic. And not particularly well finished plastic. In fact, there's a seam that is... I can feel it. Not great. Not great at all. The knife is on bearings, I suppose. That's... Is it on bearings? Probably. Almost certainly. If you're going to assist it, you could probably put it on washers and actually get some purpose out of that. But, why do that, right? Yeah, it's not centered. This is one of the worst knives I've ever actually seen uncentered that somehow is not actually touching. It's not touching. It's not scraping. It is so close. uh, Not only is the blade not centered, but the grind, I mean, if you actually look down the knife, yeah, the whole thing just sort of slowly just kind of goes off to the side there. I did try to fix that. Couldn't. Could not do anything about that. This is awful. This is awful. This is not a budget knife you should ever buy. Thankfully, as I said earlier, they discontinued this thing. Oh, there is jimping on the flipper tab and, well, I already said the spine, but neither of them do anything. So they're there. Flipper tab is just kind of a large, good shape. I mean, it's rounded, it's nice, it's comfortable. Well, that goes back to the design being fine, but the execution being awful. So the edge is terrible. It is deep carry, I guess. I mean, all the way in your pocket. Yay. Probably wouldn't be too hard to get out, considering you have just a little bit of, like, you know, when the pocket clip is the tallest at the end and starts going down, you have sort of a swedge to grab on to there. Yeah, this is horrible. Don't buy this knife. This thankfully they discontinued it. Hopefully Kershaw will continue the trend of improving their quality and doing actually good things. Because Kershaw's budget tier has always been a weird one for me. They not only have these... can I even call it, like, ultra budget? Yeah, this was like a $25 knife, but it was discontinued and on sale, which means this thing was probably over $30, which... yeah, there's not that many competitors at the $30 that are really, really good nowadays. But there are some. I mean, back when I got... I mean, you can still get QSP Penguins for in the $30 range, I believe, and if their quality is up to the state of my most recent Penguin that I've gotten with the glide lock, and their cheap ones are now on that level, that just beats the crap out of this thing for very little more, relatively little bit more money. You know you can get good stuff from Civivi and several other brands like Real Steel and Kaiser and stuff in the $40 territory. Yeah, Kershaw's line of budget has just been kind of weird. They have some that are good, but the QC is just inconsistent from what I've seen and heard, and etc., etc. Yeah. Stay away from it. It's not good. That's it. just kind of I'm gonna crap on this thing, because I bought it amongst a bunch of other knives because I saw it was super on sale, and when I got that big unboxing, I was like, I threw this in there because I wanted to see what this thing was like, and yeah, I regret it horribly, miserably. It's fortunately it was cheap. That's all I can say. And I only kept it because, well, it's content, right? This would have definitely gone back otherwise. So that's all from me. Kershaw Seguin here. Just horrible. See you later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you on another one, and have a great day.